the developer side. Here over the developer side, you can see here we can see all the API types: client, mobile, REST, server, scoping, server, global. Here right now I want to work with server global, and the first class or the first API with which we will start working is the Glide Record API, right? So we will see what is the power of this Glide Record API and what can we do with this. So let me first open this Glide Record. So basically Glide Record, so whenever we want to work with the database, we always perform for CRUD operations, right? All of you I think have a basic understanding of database and know the CRUD operation as well, right? So CRUD operation means create, read, update and delete. CRUD operation means create, read, update and delete. So those 4 operations we want to perform on any table, and the way how to perform it, we will perform it using the Glide Record. What happens in other kind of technologies, like if Java or .NET we will talk about. So first we create a relation, we create a connection with our database, right? Then there may be different kind of ways to update the data, but yes, at the end you have to write sometime. You have to, if there is a complex thing, then you have to write a query as well by yourself, or at least you have to test your results using some query, right? If you are not using any kind of any kind of thing like Hibernate or some kind of thing, in that case, otherwise always you will be using some queries. But in ServiceNow, most of the things are covered using these Glide APIs, right? When we want to update the database, we want to read something from the database, we want to delete something from the database, or we want to insert something in the database, all the operations will be performed by this Glide Record, right? Directly with this Glide Record. No database connection are required to create, right? No database session we will create, no database name or configuration or connector, and nothing we will give, right? We will directly use Glide Record. It will automatically do everything for us, and just using this particular Glide Record, we can do whatever we want to do, right? So now, for example, if I will go and I will experiment something with this. So I will go to my yesterday's table. This was my yesterday table, right? And I have one record in this table. So I told you first API which we are going to use is Glide Record. So how to initialize? So obviously Glide Record is a API now, means it's a class. So always we have to use new operator. First we will create the object of that class. How to create? I will give some name to this object. For example, gr I am giving, and I am using the new operator, right? Glide Record. Now whenever you call a class, you always call a constructor, right? So if you don't know about the constructor properly, let me know. I will define you, but I assume that all of you know already what is a constructor. So now in this constructor, what we need to do, we have to pass the name of the table. For example, now with which table I want to work, so I have to use the table name, not the table label, right? So my table name I know is u_customer_user, and you can see it from here as well, right? So u custom user is the table name. I put that table name here. Now what I want, so I have put that table name here. So this way we will initialize our object gr is the name for now. Gr is the variable which will keep the reference of this object, right? What we will do, we will do the query. So what this query will do, it will hit the database after creating the object, right? And now then I will do gr.query, and after that means gr will be having some kind of data. So it will return a result set, right? And we will do to traverse that result set. What we will do, we will do gr.next, right? And to print the data, we will do gs.print and gr.get value. So many functions you will see here we are going to use, right? I will explain them a little bit, and most of them you will do by yourself, right? So now I have to use the proper name. I told you yesterday as well that whatever name we will use here should not be label. All those should be database name. And how to have those database name? You can open your record. You can go here, you can click here, right click here, and you can see this is the field, is the database name, right? That here, and let's run. Is it running or not? My god, it is running, right? So XYZE, we have printed the name of the if for example, if I am having multiple records, because I am using while statement here, so all the records will be printed, right? So for example, let me create some more records here, and then we will do what we want to, means we will see how many results are coming and some different options as well. So we have three records here. Now we will see. Yes, we have 3 records here, right? So from that result set, I am getting value of a single column, right? So this is the way how we can run the query. So the query for now I have put it empty. So if I am using it as empty, I have not passed any parameter, anything here. So it means what it will understand, that you need all the records, right? Otherwise I will put some filter here in the query. So if I have not put any filter, in that case what will happen, it will allow me to do whatever I want to do, right? Now for example, consider that, and here gr.getValue, what it is doing, gr.getValue is taking the name from the particular row on which the result set counter is, right, or the result set pointer is right now at present time. It will fetch that name, or it will fetch that column value, right, from that row. So get value will fetch the data, right, from the result set. So now gr.next, what gr.next is doing, consider it as traversing row by row. Okay? So it will traverse row by row, correct? So this is the way how we basically run a basic glide record, and it comes under the read operation. So what we do here, we do the read operation, right? So this is the read operation. Now what we want to do, write operation. Not exactly the write, right now we will do, let's print some more values.
Hello, Praveen.
Yes.
gs.print is to display the output, right?
Yes, to display the output. Will come on the GS as well in time. So I will open other fields. I will open the form and copy the other fields. Let me copy the address. Right, so we have all the data from our table, all the records, right? So now we have a lot of handy functions in the glide record. For example, handy functions could be like, I don't want to run all this, just I want to print that how many records are available. So what will I do? Function row count. So get row count. It will print that how many rows are there, right? So get row count is a function which we use most of the time, that how many records are there available in our table, right? Now we will see that how we can put the filter. So there is a strategy, you're putting the filter. So when you will see at this function query, it basically takes 2 or 3 parameters. So first parameter, second parameter, a third parameter. Not always the second parameter. It may take 1 or 2 or 3 means minimum 2 and maximum 3 parameters. So first we will see it in this way, only using the 2 parameters. So basically what I want that I want to fetch the details of that particular record only, which is having its name as test1, right? What I will do here, first of all I will pass the database name of that particular column on which I want to put the filter. Then I will copy the name, means value test1, for example, here, right? Sorry, I am doing it wrong, guys. Sorry, mistakenly. So there is a function add query, right? So query is a different function, add query is a different function. For still we were not using any filter here, right? So that's why we were using only the query. So query, what it will do if you have not put any filter. So for example, if you want to put filter, you will use add query function. But if you are not putting any kind of filter, you will directly use query function. For example, let me tell you, we always use gr.query. This is the only way how we can hit the database and how we can receive the result, right? But if you want to do it without filter, just use gr.query. But if you want to put the filter as well, then use gr.addQuery with the gr.query. So both the functions in that case you have to use, right? Now also have to do gr.next. So you put the filter, now you query the database, now you receive the result, right? You fetch the results using the gr.next and you will print that result in the next line in this way. I'm putting again one more gs.print. So first result we received what? Test1, right? So this was the record. Which data we want, right? Test1 Delhi, and we received the result. Now you see we are not receiving the result for all the columns, and that's why I know if you are confused that you may receive multiple results using the test1, in that case you can put that line in while again and it will confirm you that you are having only one record. Right, so even in the while you are having one record because your filter run works here, and your filter it only fetches the results which are fulfilling this particular criteria that name should be test1. So this is the way how we can run the filters as well using the add query function. Now this add query function have one more parameter you can see over the doc side. So that parameter is, for example, uname equals to. It is used for these kinds of operators. Uname is not equals to, right? Or uname is smaller than, greater than. So such kind of parameters you can use with the add query, right? So such kind of things you please use by yourself, do them and experiment with them, right? Now I am moving forward with one more important method which is called add encoded query.
Hi Parvez, I have a small doubt. Yeah, Sunil this side. After applying a filter, so we are getting only one row, that was test1. So after that, after applying filter, if we'll apply get row count, so how many row will be getting, 1 or 3? So original 3.
No,
yeah.
one.
Okay.
Yes, you will receive 1, not 3.
Okay, fine.
Okay. Yes. So now I am moving towards the one more. So sometimes what happens, if there is a complex filter, right? Filter is, for example, all the records which are created today, or all the records which were created yesterday, or all the records which are having a name as u underscore name, email as abcd, right, designation as abcd, right, and this as so means you want to apply filter on 4 or 5 or methods becoming a little bit complex. In that case, our filter, how we create the filter. So ServiceNow give us functionality to create the filter dynamically, and you know that already. We are having this filter. What I will do, let's consider that I want to create a little bit complex filter. For example, name is, so let's consider that name starts with test, or name starts with te, right? So you want to use this filter, run it, right? It runs. So ServiceNow is also running some query. Now you can copy that query. How to copy that query? Go here, right click here and copy query. So this query is copied and you can utilize that query directly here, but not in that query function, in the add encoded query function. In the add encoded query method, you can use that. Correct? 2 results are here now. So if we want to make our filter a little bit complex, in that scenario, what we will use? We will use add encoded query, right? And add encoded query will always take one parameter. It will take 2 or 3 parameters. It will take only one parameter, right? So in one parameter, we will pass our.
Excuse me, Praveen, Rutuja here. Add query and add encoded query. These are the methods just to apply the filters, right? After applying these filters, again we have to run gr.query. Every time we have to run this gr.query method, na? This is used to execute the query, right?
Yes, correct.
Yes. Okay. What if we are just applying add query method, and if we don't apply that dot query method,
Okay.
the query won't execute.
No, I'm not. What you said that?
If I apply just add query method and I will not use that gr.query method, then my query will execute or not?
No, your query will not execute. Will not.
Okay, means those are the two queries. Those are the methods just to apply the filters, right?
Yes, the filters. Correct.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yes. So now this way we can apply filters, and much more complex filters. If you want to create, you can create those filters using this list filter. You can copy your query. You can put that query directly here, and you are done, right?
So Praveen,
now,
hello. So
yes.
This add and
Yeah, go on. Who is this?
so
Hello?
Is that how it is going? Hello.
Yeah,
Hello?
I can hear you. Yes.
Hello. So Praveen, I was telling that this add encoded query is only used when we are applying something on condition builder and copying that query into this function.
Yes. Correct.
No any other use. It is basically used for that purpose only when we have to copy the query from the condition builder.
Yes.
Okay.
Any other use? If you think means it can have. So for now we are using it. Yes, Vishal, go on.
So I guess with the learning from till now, I think if we have to use our own query, we can use gr.add query. So that is how our conditions will be fulfilled, right?
So means if we have our own query.
Means we want to apply our own query to get the some database or some data. We can go with gr.add query, where we can search for the particular field or whatever we want to get up.
So in both of the cases, we are means the query is ours. Not the query is not of the system. The query We will cover more advanced things in the business tool, like all the types of business tool, whether it is before, after tracing, display. I think it is a topic created on today. Run. Get this query. This particular query in the add and encode query and in the add query, we can create it. But what is more handy? What is more easy? Right, that's the thing only. Okay, Vishal.
Yeah, I got it. This seems very quite lengthy part. Whatever you have just printed system
Now
underscore created.
Here we have
Hello. Praveen, you are not audible. Hello.
Nothing is audible. Nothing is audible.
having some value. India, for example, India is the label, but value you given it 1. Nepal is label, but value you given it 2 when you created those choices, right? So if you want to print the values, you will use get value. But if you want to print the label, in that case, you will use get display value. That is a different function. For example, gr dot display value.
Hello.
Nothing is audible.
Yes. Nothing is audible.
Yes. That we will use get display value, right? And now you see we are having India in both of those records. We were have India, right? So you can see we have printed India here. If we will use get value, so the value of India will be get printed, right? So there is another function for printing the values or for getting the data from any particular column. One is get value, one is get display value, right? Now I am going towards updating some data. Means if you want to update some data in a record, for example, let's consider that this is the test. This is the form test2, which is having name as test2, and I want to update its description, right? In that case, how we can do that? I'm removing again all. Yeah, I will keep only few data here. So what we are doing, we are creating again an object, right? Glide object. What we will do now, we will run some add query to identify that particular record. For example, I told you I want to update test to means test to record. In that case, I will copy here test to. For equal part, I don't need to give any operator here. U underscore name and test2. Now we are doing gr.query, we are doing gr.next. Just first confirm that are we on the correct phase. So for that, what I will do, I will print the name. Oh, I am using JScript.print again and again. Right, so yes, we have identified the correct record. Right, now let's update something. I want to update. So to update, we are having a set value function, a set value method of this glide record. I will see that what is the name of this column. Its name is u underscore description. It should be, but let's copy it from here. Yeah, we have u underscore description as name, field name. We will copy that field name here, and for example, this is a testing. I want to put here. Now we are having a update method. Update everything, right? So save it and let's check, is it updated or not? Yes, this is updated. This is a testing, correct? So this is the way how you can basically means how you can update a record. So any value of this record you can update easily, whether it is name, whether it is my country, whether it is email, whether it is description, whether it is created by, you can try to update as well, right? So so this is the way how we can update a record. So we have read the record, we have update the record. Now we will come on the creation of the record. So how to create the record, or before the creation I want to delete the record. Let's consider I want to delete the record. So first of all, before deleting, because deleting is a very cautious thing, you have to be very cautious about the deletion of the records, right? So for that, what I will do again, I will just put a glide record. I will check that, I will identify my particular record, I will execute the query, I will get that particular record from the result set, right? I will confirm that am I on the correct data, means am I on the correct record, and then if I am confirmed that yes I am on the correct record, I will use delete record, right? I will use delete record and I will execute this. Let's see what will happen. Yes, record not found. It is deleted, correct? So this is the way how we can delete a record, right? So deletion is also very easy. Now
so delete here will delete all the records whichever is present in the form, right?
All the records. That's why it does not delete all the records. That's why we put the filter, right? We put the filter, then we delete the record, only that particular record.
Praveen, if you want to update multiple records in that table, then how we can do?
So for that we are having a method update multiple. Update multiple is a method you can experiment with yourself. For example, what happens if I have 5 records, and in those 5 records I want to update a particular, let's consider a description field, right? And I want to put all the means the same values in all of those 5 records. Oh, it is not refreshed. Let me refresh it. We are having 2 records. We should have 2 records only here now. So if you want to update all the records, in that case there is a method update multiple. Used by that method by yourself, if you will face the issue, then I will let you know. But yes, update multiple is the method. So I will not go through with each and every method. You guys have to do that. I will let you know basically how to apply them. Different methods you will experiment by yourself to do that. Yes, but yes, if you want to update multiple records, then you have to use update multiple. And the issue with that is that you can update a particular all the fields with a common value, not a different kinds of values. Right now, I am moving towards how to create a record. So to create a record, so we have seen how to read, how to update, how to delete. Now we will see how to create. Right. So for the create operation, what we will do, we will run a glide record. Right. And we have to do this gr.initialize. I am sure that someone of you will ask that what is initialize. If you will not ask, then okay. So you have it initialize. First of all, new glide record, right? Then you will use initialize method, and this is your duty, guys, to find it out what is initialize, what it is doing here. I just tell you that it is creating a raw object for now, but more details you can find by yourself. So gr.set value, what we will do, this is the most, sometimes it is asked in the interviews as well of ServiceNow, most commonly. So I want to create a record, right? So glide, we do the glide record, we do initialize, now set value. The record which I will create, it should have a name as, for example, Kumar, gr.set value. We are having, for example, let me put my address as well. I put it as India, not India, Noida, for example. Now just with this value I want to insert my record. So what I will do, I will do insert.
Praveen.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
So can we add multiple value at the same time, or we have to enter the individual value again and again by the set value?
So yeah, so there are ways you can add multiple values together, but that could be a little bit more advanced thing, or that is a cheat thing with ServiceNow, means that those types of things are called cheat sheet, right? So we will not use that. We will do what the best practice ServiceNow have provided from its side. So yes, you have to use gr.set value multiple times, as many times as you want to update the fields. Okay. So you will use always gr.set value per column. You got the answer?
Yes.
Yeah. So gr.initialize, gr.set value, and gr.insert. Now what we will do? we will see that is it inserted or not. We will execute it, and it is inserted. We have Praveen Kumar here, and we have address Noida. Right. So guys, we have seen CRUD operation: create, read, update, and delete. Right. So 4 operations we have seen of this glide record. Right. Insert, delete, delete record. Sorry. Insert, delete record, update. Right. And read is obviously using the gr. Means for read we will always use gr.query to execute the query first, and then we will able to read it. So CRUD operation we have performed. Now there are some more methods. Yes.
So Praveen, basically gr.update always works with whenever we are writing anything in particular field. At the time we have to put update always.
Yeah, so means whenever you want to update any particular field of the record, then you will use gr.update. Any confusion in this?
Praveen, Rutuja here.
Yes. Yes.
Hello.
Yeah, okay. First, ladies first.
Vishal is asking.
No, you go ahead. I will ask you.
Praveen, inserting it means you are adding a new record in a table, right? And in a customer user table, my country is a mandatory field, and in here you are creating a insert record. You are giving a value for name and address only. You are not providing any value for my country field. Then how that record will get added? My country, this means you have to provide a compulsory value now. Then how that record is getting created?
Okay. Okay, that's a good question. So what happens basically whenever you are inserting the data, you have to see that where you put that validation, right? A part of it, Glide Record is the API which does not respect a lot of backend functionality of ServiceNow, and one of that functionality which it does not obey is this mandatory thing. Glide Record does not obey this mandatory thing.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So that is the core thing. Most of the time you will see that how it is working, it should not work. A part of it, yes, if you want to make it more secure that no one can touch, for that you have to use some other functionalities are there in ServiceNow, like data policy, like ACL. I will say again, Glide Record does not respect many things, and you will get it know by experience that what different thing Glide Record does not obey. The reason behind it is that it does not obey this mandatory thing. That's why you are able to enter it. Okay.
Hello, Praveen.
Yes.
Yeah, I have two doubts. That first of all, while means by using set value, we have set value is just like getter and setter method of encapsulation in Java. So set value is basically writing the things which in whichever field we want to enter. Okay, and update is to update the value whatever we have mentioned in set value, right? So similarly, if we are going to create a record, at that time also we need update, or gr insert is means the function or method which can be used to insert the particular value, or we have to use update if we are applying different or multiple values.
Okay. So for example, one thing is that record is already available, and one thing is that record was right. So what is the difference between update function, update operation, and insert operation? Update operation means something exists earlier, already something exists, just we want to modify it. Insert means something was not available in system, right? And you are putting that. You are means that is a very new thing for the system. We are putting that thing in the system. So that is the difference. What is the difference between the insert operation and update operation? That is the same difference between the insert method and update method.
Okay, that is clear. One more doubt that. Okay, you ask Ajay. Ajay, you ask first.
Okay, so I have one doubt that if I'm going to do both of the operations at the same time, so I have to use both the statements or only one could do the work?
Tell me any scenario where you want to do
it. Suppose I have added some values and modified some values. Okay. So
adding some value in a record is a different thing. Inserting the whole record.
Yeah, inserting some record and updating some record at the same time.
Okay, so there is no sense of using both of them together if you are using in your
right. So if I have to get the values of dependent field by giving the value on which it is dependent, like if we are giving country and we have to get the values which are dependent on country, so how?
For example, either you belongs to India, either you belongs to Pakistan, either you belongs to Sri Lanka, either you belongs to Bangladesh, right? But you have only your one value, na? You getting my point? What I am saying? So whenever I am fetching your value or your record, I will get only one value, that you are from India.
No, my question is that
10 times. So what I will do? Right, 13 August 2020. Now we have time as well. A part of it, we are having some properties in ServiceNow. Properties are global identifiers for anything, right? So we'll come later on such things, but let me show you what properties I am talking about. These are the system properties in ServiceNow, and these properties have many values. Means there are a lot of properties, and every property have a particular 1883 properties are here in ServiceNow. And these properties represent some particular value, right? So if I want to read this particular property, again I will use gs dot. What is property? We can discuss it later. It's not part of today's class. But let me show you the method. Right, so that property is having value true. So in this way we use glide system. Part of it, if you will go here, you will see a lot of different methods available in glide system, right? And you just not need to initialize this particular this particular object. You will never initialize it by yourself. It is initialized by your instance itself. Okay, it is having different methods related to the date and time. If you will see, beginning of next week, beginning of last month, beginning of last week, beginning of next month, right? So lot of methods it is having. Yeah, some of the important methods it is having are such. GS dot add info message. Right now you can't see that message, but you can see that message here. But whenever you will apply this message, this method in your business rule or in your other kind of server side scripting logics, it will give you a pop-up of green color, right? It will give you a pop-up of green color, so that you can give a feedback, or you can acknowledge the user that okay, your operation has been confirmed. Similarly, we are having error message. I will show you them when we will talk about the business rule. Today we will little bit talk about the business rule. So add error message, again hello, right? So it will show this message, it will acknowledge the user that something has been wrong in a red format. I will show you how it looks like on the UI part. Let's go through other simple functions of this glide system. Get session, yeah, one of the another important method of this glide system class is get user. So for example, who is the logged in user? I want to print the information of the logged in user. In that case, what I will use, get user ID. Let's see what it will print. It have printed your sysID in the user table, right? If I will use get user, system administrator, right? This is my display name, correct? If I will use get user, you can see it will give me what? It will give me, this is the object representation, means it returns me an object, and that object contains the information of the logged in user. So for the information related to the logged in user. Whenever you want to print the name of the logged in user, you want to take the SysID of the logged in user, you want to get some other different information about the logged in user, you can use glide system class for that. Okay, so js.getUser, for example, I have to see it will return on the glide object. So you can see it have returned me the glide, user object, and from that user object I fetched out what email of the user, and this is the email of the admin. Okay, so this way how easily we can identify the information related to the logged in user, his first name, last name, email, address or designation, title, whatever kind of information we want to fetch it out, correct, using this get user method. Part of it I will get user display name, get user ID we have learned, get username you can also learn, get username by ID. So what will happen, you will pass the SysID and it will give you the username of that particular user from the SysID, right? A part of it, few important methods are which are available in glide system is, for example, has role. What has role will do? It will tell you, are you having 1 minute. So yeah, so has role, what it will do, it will check that this particular role you are having or not. So let's run this. Yes, I am an admin, so I have this role, so it returns true. If I am not an admin, I don't have that role, it will return me false, correct? So has role method is very means common method you will use in day-to-day life, right? A part of it I will tell you, we have seen now date time we have seen, don't use the for now glided time, right? Print we have used, right? Yesterday will always give you, for example, if you will click here, the yesterday will always give you the yesterday time if you use it directly with the GS method, right, with the GS object. So all these are the different methods in this particular glide system which are available to you guys. You have to go through with them, right? Please read as much as possible all the methods, learn them, how are they working, right? And if you will face any issue, you can go to your buddies, they will clarify you. If your buddies are having any kind of challenges or anything, then you can come to me, I will explain you, right, that what is happening there in that particular method. Now we have seen two APIs, glide record API we have seen glide system as well, right? Now we are moving towards the third one. It is called glide aggregate. So is having similar signature.
I want to charge that there is issue in your voice. That is glitching.
My voice is not clear. So now what we will do, we will use glide aggregate. So glide aggregate is similar to glide record, but it gives you some advanced features which are not available with the glide record. Those advanced features, what kind of advanced features it gives us? One of the most common feature is, for example, I have two persons which belongs to Delhi, right? And you can see here we have a group by address field. It helps us a lot. So it helps us all the peoples which belongs to Delhi. It group them, right? So it group them. So this group by functionality is not available with the glide record, but that functionality is available with the glide aggregate, right? So for that, what we will do? Glide aggregate gr by see what will happen. First of all, one of the most common use, we will come on this while part later. One minute, let me see if I am using some different function. 1 minute, guys. Oh, 1 minute, guys. Let me put my headphone. Okay, so right now for a group by, I am not I'm not getting exactly correct scenario which I can show you right now. So first let's use some different functions of glide aggregate, right? So for example, so basically let me tell you first of all what glide aggregate we use. I think most of you already know about glide aggregates which we use on the database. Do you guys know about that? What are the aggregations? Yes, so
Yes.
can you define to all of them?
There are 5 to 6 aggregate functions like sum, find minimum, maximum, average. These are the functions. So on the basis of if we are using the group by or having clause, then we use the aggregate function in our data query.
Yes. Someone, some other person definition. Someone want to contribute here in this definition? Okay.
Aggregate
So for
functions
example,
take multiple values and gives the one output. multiple inputs and prints one output.
Like for example,
like we are adding more than 5 or 6 fields, but the output will be 1, means sum of all the totals.
Okay. So basically, whenever in ServiceNow means similar kind of functionality you can achieve from the glide record. For example, the scenario you can understand in this way: we are having multiple incidents, right? For example, let me open the incident table. What is the primary concern here? So we are having multiple incidents, right? But you will see that here we are having particular state. This is state field, and when you will group by the state, so here we can cover that group by part. So for example, when I will do group by, you can see here we are having finally 1, 2, 3 and 4 states. So when we will do group by, we are having basically 4 rows. I will not say that 4 records only. For now you can consider it as we have 4 rows, and we want to check it that in particular in every row how many records are there, right? So such kind of functionality, or for example in this complete table how many records are there, you can again use the glide aggregate as well for that. So there are different aggregations which like count, max, min, average, right? So what these aggregates do, these directly apply the operation on the on database level, right? And it impacts your performance a lot. For example, if you want to find the average of a particular number, or let me show you here, we have a field like updates we are having here. If I will click on the all, so here you can see what this update do. So this update have the number of times this incident is updated, and you want to add all of them, right? For example, you want to add all of them. In that case, what will happen, that you can use either you can use glide record. In that case, what will you do, you will put a glide record, right? You will put the gr.query and you will put a method while gr.next. In that method you will read the value of updates field, right? And you will add it in the previous value. So by that, in this way you will add it. But using the glide aggregate you can add all the methods, or you can all the values of this updates function just in one time, and at the database level it will be performed, not at the application level, not at the coding level. So basically how to do it, समृद्धि बाबू बाहर जाओ बाबू, गो आउटसाइड। मैं अभी मैं फ्री हो जाऊंगा ना, बस थोड़ी देर में अभी मैं फ्री जाऊँगा, जाओ तुम, जाओ। मैं आ रहा हूँ ना। मैं आ रहा हूँ ना, बोलो ना, मैं आ रहा हूँ ना। One minute guys, let me see what wrong thing I am doing. Spelling is correct. Get it before. What I will do, share the file. Zero aggregate. Your phone. One minute. Okay, so guys, right now means I am also having some issue with this, so I will check it and then I will let you know. So tomorrow we can have a separate session over the glide aggregate, guys. Okay, so for today you can skip this part. So whatever, because I also have not used by myself from a long time. So tomorrow I will cover it completely, everything about the glide aggregate. Tomorrow we will cover. Now I am moving towards, just skip this topic for today and we will move towards the business rule, our last topic for today, right? So what is a business rule? I think Vishal, you have I think some idea about the business rule. If you have basic information, means basic things or basic idea about service now, you have why we use business rule and what is the purpose of business rule?
Yeah.
Can you explain to those? Yes.
So basically, whatever the functions you have told, like creating, updating, inserting, deleting, It is basically the part of business rule. Means we can by writing client side script in business rules, using business rules, we can create these functions.
So let me add more things here. So guys, what is a business rule? Basically, the persons who are from the Java background, let me tell you what happens. Basically, whenever you are performing any kind of action, that action at the end will impact the database anyway. For example, if some new user is registering, if you are reading the data from some user, right, or if you are deleting the record of a user, or if you are updating the record of a user, or whatever kind of operation you are performing, some way somehow your database will always come into picture. And the persons who are from Java, from .NET, or from some other kind of technology, they can imagine that you always create a service layer, right, and on that service layer you decide that how you will interact with your database, correct? So that kind of service layer you can take in business rule. Any kind of operation, any kind of thing you are going to perform, it will always pass through that business rule, right? For example, so we have different versions of business rule in ServiceNow. There are two kind of business rule. First of all, you want to perform something before doing anything. Another point is you want to perform something when you are done with the database, right? So for example, if I am registering for myself, but before the registration before the registration is hit to the database, before the registration record or before the registration details are sent to the database, I want to put some validation, right? So where I will do those validations, I will use the before business rule. For consider now I have registered myself. As soon as I am registered, I want to send an email. In that case, what I will do, I will use after business rule, because I am done with my process, with my current transaction. So there are two kinds of business rules in ServiceNow. So what is a business rule? Business rule is basically a layer which comes before the database and which comes after the database always, right? So when you want to write a business rule which comes before the database, you will use the business rule of type before. Let me show you here. You will see here when. Okay, so you can see here before, and here you will see after as well somewhere. Yeah, after. We have display as well, but skip them for now. Just concentrate on before and after. So before and after are the kind of business tools which help you to write your service logic, which help you to write the business logic, which will impact either before the means which you want to run either before hitting to the database or either after hitting to the database. I think you guys have faced many scenarios where you want to do some validation, where you want to add something in the record, where you want to modify some record before it is inserted into the database. Some scenarios will become, as I told you, that once my record is inserted into the database, then I want to send an email to someone, to some third party, or I want to fire an event. In such scenario, we will use before and after business rule. So business rule is a database layer which always be available either before hitting to the database or either after, just after hitting to the database. Is my definition clear to everyone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Praveen.
Let me see that tomorrow are we having what stuff we are having tomorrow. I will think that how much I need to tell you about business rule. Okay.
Praveen, business rules are done on server side, right?
Yes, these are on server side, exactly. No client side methods or functions we can use on business rules. Okay, I will tell you a few more things about business rules, then we will cover it again tomorrow. So for example, let me again open my table which we created. For example, custom user is the table, right? I'm closing all the other stuff. I have opened this record. I want to go to my business rules. So you have to go right click here, configure, and you have to go to the business rules. right? For now, I don't have any business rule on my table, but I want to create one business rule. I will go and I will do new. Right, so this is the new business rule record form. I am going to create a new business rule, and this is a form for that new business rule. First of all, I will give the name to my business rule. For example, before I am giving it just a sample name, testing before business rule, right? So for basically for now, you will see two things. First of all, I will select some condition that when this business rule should run, right? For example, or means this is not mandatory thing that you have to always select the condition. You can skip it as well. But if you want to run this business rule on some selected records, then you will select the condition. Otherwise, you can skip this condition. Action: what you want to do. For example, I want to add a message, or I want to abort this action. So, for example, consider I have put here condition that if description contains delete, right? What I will do if description contains what? Delete. Action, abort action. What will happen? It will not execute this business rule, or it will, what it will do, it will abort this action of deletion, right? So means it will stop you to delete this record, right? Similarly, if I am having a description, such kind of thing that description contains delete, and I want to display some message, I will use add message, and I will write that message here, and that message will come whenever I am doing any kind of stuff on my record. But on which record? Which is having description, in which description contains delete. Or I want to set some values. For example, whenever description contains delete, I want to use that age should be 0, right? Or whatever value I want to set. For example, country Nepal, right? So such kind of things you can handle, but still this business rule is not so powerful. How it will become more powerful? It will become more powerful using this advanced topic. So mostly we don't use all these things, all these methods, or all these out of the box available boxes or conditions. We mostly use advanced, and we write our code here. So I told you that we are having some gs.addinfo message kind of thing, and it will print something. For example, I am writing here that I am testing my first business rule, right? I am removing, for now I am removing everything. Now this important factor come. As soon as you will click on the advanced, this thing will come. When, so when you want to run this business rule, so I want to run this business rule before hitting to the database. But what would be the operation? Operation should be update. So whenever you are going to update some record, before the updation or before hitting to the database, for the updation of the record, this business rule will work. I will save it, and we will see that is it working or not. You can see in this way this addinfo message will behave. This addinfo message. So whatever the content I have given here, it will come here at the top of the form. Right now, I told you that there is another message as well, add error message. So it will convert the color towards the reddish, right? So this way, whatever I am doing now, I can do whatever I want. For example, what I want, that description should be combination of what? Description should be combination of name plus email. What I will do, I will use current. So current is the object which will represent your current object, your current record, right? So means if I am performing any operation on this test one, so current will perform all the fields of the test one. So current will become the glide record of the test one. Direct. So for example, current dot set value I want to use. In this case, what will happen? Do underscore description, comma, current dot get value of u underscore name plus current dot get value. Let's give a space also between them. U underscore email, right? So what it will do, it will change the description as a combination of name and email before hitting to the database, right? Because if we have submitted the record, after that if we will do it, it will not give us expected results, and in the when to run you will see we have selected here before update, right? So such kind of behavior you can define using your business rules. Okay guys. I am testing my first BR. I change it to the reddish, means using the error message, and you can see here test 1 we are having zyze at gmail.com. This becomes a combination. So this way we can use the before update business rule. So guys, we can do practice today using this stuff only. Tomorrow we will cover glide aggregate again, because few things I also look into glide aggregate with more clarity. Apart of it, we will cover more advanced things in the business tool, like all the types of business tool, whether it is before after tracing display. I think it is a topic which will take more time, and I have to ask Pradyuman as well to adjust it somewhere this time. But okay, no issues. So we will cover tomorrow glide aggregate and advanced things of business tool, and if something is some time will remain, then we will do other topics. Any doubts, any questions till now? Today's session you can ask me, guys.
Praveen.
Yes, please.
Like while creating the groups, at the time what we did, we just configured dictionary. Okay. In there, if we were changing any field to mandatory or read only, so if suppose we are changing any particular incident table, if we are putting the tick mark on mandatory, so the change was reflected in all the tables which are extending task table, because it is the base table, right? So correct. My question is, like if we are choosing here incident table, so whatever the changes we are going to make, so will that reflect in all the tables which are related to means extending task table, or only the table on which we are applying it? That is my doubt.
Okay, so right now if I am using here incident table, so it will impact its own table plus its child table. Got it?
Parent table it will not affect.
No, it will not affect parent table anyway.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions, any other doubts from someone? Guys, anything you want to ask? So, no questions from anyone. Okay. So I think
Praveen. The document which you were using right now, from where you were finding all the glide methods, could you just tell me how to get there? Because I am using ServiceNow community.
Okay, I will put that URL on the chat.
Okay, thank you.
Guys, any other question, anything? Okay, then we are good to close this call, right? So guys, do study, do read. If you have any doubts, contact your buddies. And if buddies are not available, or there is some technical problem with your buddies or things you are not able to make it clear from them, then you can come to me and we can clear it. Okay. So thanks everyone. Bye bye. Let's meet tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Praveen.
Thank you, Praveen. Bye bye.